In hindsight, looking back at my life as a whole, it was very obvious that I was trans from the start, and that, you know, I was kind of just, like, masking it for a while. When I was younger, around like, 12 to 13, I had, always had these thoughts in the back of my mind, wondering, what was it like to wake up as a girl? What was it like to wake up with a cute little girly face, cute little titties, cute boobs, stuff like that, having feminine features and all that, like, it was that sort of thing that made me realize, oh my god, well, at least looking back, that I was trans. But I never really thought about it much at the time, because, whenever I was thinking about that, like, first of all, like, when I was younger, I didn't even know what trans was. I don't think there was even a word for that when I was younger, at least in my spaces, because I never really was in that community yet. And then whenever I did realize what trans people were, I was thinking, oh, I'm not trans at all. Like, that's like a common thought. Everyone thinks about that. Everyone thinks about what it's like to live as the opposite gender every now and then. But what my younger self didn't realize, and what my current self does realize, is that those thoughts never really went away. That those thoughts would always be in the back of my mind. And I would always occasionally think, what's it like, to be a woman? What's it like to have a woman's body? And those thoughts just never really left. And it wasn't until I came out that I realized that those thoughts were basically just a major sign. But, there's also another part of the story as well. I was not exactly the most polite to trans people when I was younger. Not out of, like, hatred and malice or anything, just more out of ignorance, because I really just didn't know how to react to trans people. And, well, it really came to a head when I was around 17. When I was 17, I was trying to find a community to make myself feel more at home, I've been looking for a lot of things, and I heard about the VTuber community, and I thought, what, the VTuber community sounds like it would be cool. I would have, like, a lot of fun there, and yeah, that would be fun. So I met this VTuber who, I'm going to keep anonymous, because I don't want to, like, have them find this video, realize who I am, and either, like, start something, or realize that, I don't want to, like, potentially, like, bring back my past. I want to just, like, keep everything into that particular area. But, like, topic aside, I met this VTuber. She was very kind, very polite to me, and she gave me a home. She gave me my old persona. She gave me, like, pretty much everything that I fucking liked. And I met her friends, and it was, like, a massive community. Remember, I had a Discord group chat. It was really fun, and I really, really appreciated it. But then I just couldn't let good enough be the perfect enemy of the perfect. It's like, I just fucking always, when I was younger, I was an idiot. I was an idiot. I was really an idiot when I was younger, and I really didn't know how to react to this sort of thing. I really didn't have that much development because of, all that shit. And I was really saying things that were out of pocket. I was saying, like, some really oddly transphobic stuff. And I feel like they had enough of me. They were slowly phasing me out, and by the time I realized what happened, it was too late. I got a DM from one of the members saying, you're on thin ice, and you don't need to fucking do all this, and yada yada yada. And that was when I realized that, oh shit, what was I doing? And I tried coming back, and they said some pretty bad things to me. Remember, like, I think there was the girl who was so polite to me, who was giving me all this stuff, who was making me a community and giving me this place, literally just told me to fuck off. And it was that sort of thing that made me think in the back of my head, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And it didn't make me outright hate trans people. I wasn't really that far gone, but it definitely made me a little weary around this community, because, well, I just didn't want to get hurt again. I didn't want to have to go back and end up, having my past be revealed to them, and have them realize that I'm a terrible person. And I just didn't want to do that. And I tried finding my own space, my own community, and I never really found it for a while. And then around 2020, I think it was like 2024, my life just came crashing apart. My girlfriend of, like, 6 months had left me. I was falsely arrested by my mother. My stepfather turned out to be an abusive dick. And it led me questioning everything about my life. And it led me questioning, like, well, just what exactly am I? What exactly am I doing this for? And I had, like, those thoughts in the back of my head. And I was thinking, like, it's like this weird thing calling out to me, like, maybe you are trans. Maybe you are trans underneath. And I started doing research. I started going on the subreddits like Egg IRL, and I started going on the places like the r/trad2, and then I started relating a lot to what they were saying on those subreddits, and I was kind of having this, like, massive, like, identity crisis, because, like, for the longest time, I thought I was cis. I thought I was just, like, a guy. I didn't think, maybe for the entire time, my life was a lie. I didn't think that, like, my entire life, my life was a lie. But there were two things around this time that really set me off into that path of making me realize that I was trans. The first thing was a drawing that I received of my old persona. Now, I was cis at the time. I was trying to get into the VTuber community. I was still trying to get into it after what happened. And I had this persona. I'll put, like, an image of him on the screen. I think I have him, like, somewhere. He was like my old persona. He was like my old PNG tuber persona. And I was trying my best to, like, become a thing. And I was just constantly trying, and it just never really went anywhere. So after I got arrested, the only friend I really had left, he decided to draw me, like, a gender-bent version of myself. I was like a little bit of a gag gift. Like, and, like, after I saw it, it was kind of like, I was trying to, like, make lore for it. I was like, oh god, I was kind of projecting who I really wanted to be on this gender-bent persona of myself, and that really awoke something in me. It was a bit of a nail, but it wasn't the final nail. Because the final nail was a dream I had the day before I decided to come out permanently as trans. And that was a dream I had it was a relatively normal dream, but it was just me relaxing on the back seat, on the porch of my grandmother's place. And it was like a massive pool area. And I was a girl. I was a woman. I was a cute girl. I was wearing a cute little bikini. I had boobs. I had long hair. And something about it just felt normal. It felt right. Like, it felt right having a female body on myself. And the stream kept going, but I never lost that female body, and it felt normal. It felt right. And that dream was kind of what set me off into realizing that I was trans, and I was still trying to grapple onto that old identity I had, but I never really lost it, because I didn't want to give up all of what I built. And it just made my behavior to my ex-friends all the more heartbreaking, because if I had simply just been behaving a lot better when I was younger, if I just simply had them in my pocket, they would have been able to help me navigate these feelings more properly, because I didn't really have anybody at the time other than that one friend who drew that image of me. My ex had left me, and I was kind of just on my own. And if I just had them, if I just simply behaved better, I would have had those people to help me navigate those emotions. And after coming out, I started realizing all the negative transphobic behavior. I've been noticing it, like, people, like politicians who are trying their best to, like, try and treat trans people like they're a villain to society, trying to pervert the gender dichotomy, and, like, trying to invade women's bathrooms and invade women and child's schools or whatever. And, like, I was just, like, disgusted with myself that I could even be remotely compared to these people. Like, even remotely compared. Like, how could I have ever even remotely been compared to these people? Because these are just monsters. And I've never been able to really make up with myself after what happened. Since to this day, one of my greatest wishes has always been to just go back and try and make amends with those people that I hurt. To try and find a way to just make up what I did wrong. And since then, I've just never really, well, been complete in that regard, but that's a topic for another time. After I came out as trans... But other than that, coming out as trans has basically been, the happiest thing that's ever happened to me. Because, well, for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm myself. I'm who I'm supposed to be. I am who I am. And I'm not pretending anymore. I'm not pretending to be someone I'm not. I am not pretending to be a masculine man or like a weasel or anything. I'm pretending to be myself. And I'm not pretending to be myself. I'm being myself. And yeah, just like, it feels normal for me. It feels more. And I don't know why I said pretending to be myself. It's just brain fart. But like, it's still like, I'm myself now. I'm finally myself. For the first time in my life, I'm myself. And since then, I've never looked back on who I was. I still have some vestiges of my old life. Still, I gotta worry about, like, the behaviors of my friends, but I've never looked back. And I gotta encourage everybody. If you're having thoughts about potentially, about wondering what it's like to be a girl, every now and then, every, like, few weeks or so, like, every those recurring thoughts, try experimenting. Just experiment with your gender. Like, if you don't need to, like, just, like, go full-out HRT conversion to, whatchamacallit, to, your opposite, your preferred gender, or at least gender you think you are. Just experiment, And whenever you experiment, that's when you'll find the happiest part of yourself, okay? That's how I found out what I was doing, was basically just me masking myself, and... yeah, I'm not the best with motivational stuff, so apologies for the ramshackle outro, And yeah, other than that, I think that's about my story. I wanna try making more videos like this, just talking about my trans journey as a whole. And yeah, I'll try making more videos like this more soon. But till then, I'll talk to y'all next time. If y'all want to support the channel, the best way to do it is by commenting, and subscribing on the video. You can also check out the description where I'll have a link to my Discord server, which is a trans-inclusive space for those who are questioning, as well as those who are out and wanting to find a community of people to hang out with. And, yeah, I'll talk to you all next time. Bye-bye!